Hello, everyone. Welcome to Holistic Mystic Tales, the channel where I tell you stories and you laugh at them because I think I'm funny. Today, I am going to be sharing my car horror stories. This definitely could become a part two type deal because, girl, I have a list. Um, but for title's sake, we'll start with totaling my mom's car. This, oh my gosh, I've never been more scared in my life. I think I was more scared of my mom's reaction than actually hitting the deer. So I had a store meeting. I work in retail currently, and I had a store meeting at the end of the night. And so that meant I was at the store a little bit later than I normally would have. But the same night, I had to drive into my hometown, which for me is a 2.5 hour drive from where I'm at. And I was already kind of irritated that I had to stay after work because I already knew I had this big long drive after, right? And I have been at this place for almost 2 years at this point, and we have never done a store meeting. This was all new territory for me, but whatever. You do what you gotta do. I got paid for it, so why not? We had our store meeting. I was on my merry way to my hometown, and I was 30 minutes away from my mom's house. And I am driving. There is a car's headlights coming at me. Like, bizarre. I was like, whoa, I was so scared. I'm like slowing down. I don't know what's going on. And then as I get closer, the car is not on the road. It's on the side of the road, but the headlights are facing towards me. I was like, girl, you should be on the other side of the road, but it was fine. I was like, okay. So I was very focused on this car thing happening. I'm moving down the road a little bit further and I see a little huddle of deer. And I'm like, whoa, slow down, pause. I'm slowing down and then they're clearing up. There's really no deer. I start to speed up and then one comes out of nowhere and runs out into my mom's car. I was like, what the hell? And if this deer, I'm telling you this, if this deer had antlers, would have went right through the windshield. That is scary. Like, people hit deer all the time, and that was the most scary experience I've ever had in my life. Like, I literally, I pray for those who have ever gone through that or do in the future because that is so scary. And my mom's car was a little teeny car. Like, we always would call it like the go-kart car because it was so little and it was like when you drive it. Um, but I didn't think that car could survive, and I was correct because it was definitely totaled. So moral of the story is don't go to that store meeting because if you didn't, you wouldn't have hit that stupid deer. And I did tell my boss about it when I got back, and I said it's basically all your fault. Thanks. um, he laughed at me. Um, but my mom got a really good car out of it. Actually, she had got a brand new car because her car was basically almost paid off. But I was supposed to get that car after it was paid off, so it kind of sucked for me. But I was like, well, of course I was the one that had to hit the stupid deer. But it's okay. We're all good now. No one was hurt. My mom was more happy that I wasn't hurt than her car being messed up. So, end of the day was good. My mom got a new car. I didn't. Whatever. The second story, this actually, my idea of making a winter video, this was my first story on the list, and then this is when I decided that I should just make a video about car stuff because I have a slew of stories. Last winter around this time actually, oh, I had my old car, my first car. I bought this car with the money, bro. The money I made at my first job as like a 16-year old, 17-year old, going to 18-year old. And it was a white Buick, a 2000 white Buick, and I named him Bubba G. And I love me some Bubba G, even though it broke every other week and it had no AC. But last winter, dead. Ah, me and my girlfriend were getting ready for work on a Friday, and we had gotten like the super big freeze in Michigan like last winter. It was like super super cold, freezing rain, lots of snow, really like winter crap, like horrible. and we go to open the doors and they're like frozen shut. Like we're literally going in the house, getting hot water in a pitcher, pouring them on the doors, frozen shut. And I may not know a lot about cars, but I know when it's cold out, you do not rip the handles on cars. Even if it isn't cold out, you shouldn't rip the handles because like that could break them potentially. But it was so cold and my car was so old that like just like a regular like pull of the handle quite literally snapped. Not one, not two, not three, but all four of my Buick's handles. Oh, I was livid actually. Because obviously you're on your way to work. You're like, oh my god, how am I going to get to work? And then that happened. I was like, well, this sucks. My girlfriend was able to get a ride to work from another coworker, but I had to stay with the car and like be with my family on the phone, like explaining what was happening. I was like, "Oh, this happened, all this stuff," and unfortunately, the price of like the fix was not worth it, especially because this car had already gone through so much like issues in the past. My mom was like over it. My step grandpa was over it, who was the one who really helped with like fixing it and the finances for that. So I now drive a little black PT Cruiser with a lime green racing stripe. Yeah. I like the PT Cruiser. Like I use like sparingly. It's just because my first love, Bubba G. I love my Bubba G, my Sheila. Um, the third story I have was when this is like a normal story, like an actual normal. Is okay. This is sad if this is my normal, like an actual car accident. Like when you think car accident, you think of two cars colliding. I have never gotten like in a really big serious one. Knock on wood. Seriously, if you're at a desk, knock on it now for me. Um, it was like in the summer. I was driving with my girlfriend who was visiting me while I was in college, and we came up in like this neighborhood and we got to a road where the cars were like lining all of the streets. So when you got to like a stop sign, you could not see if a car was coming. I swear I sat at the stop sign for like 5 minutes and I did not see nobody. I was inching up so far, like basically the whole front of my car was like in the road, and I did not see nothing. So I finally start to get going, and literally out of nowhere, this black car just rams right into me and like the corner of the driver's side, and I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I was so scared, like the light was gonna be busted, and we back out. Like I back up back into like the neighborhood. She comes in, and her car, like it busted the plastic on her car, but because my car is old and it was like basically a wide set heavy tank of a Buick, it looked like nothing had happened to my car. It looked completely fine. And her mom came and was basically like, well, if it's your fault, if our insurance says it's your fault, we're gonna call the police and get like a report, but if they say it's not your fault and it's my daughter's fault, we're gonna just like be on our merry way. And I was like, girl, that is so rude. And you could tell these were very uppity rich people that I'm like, you do not need to have me pay for any fixes on your daughter's car. Like, I am a broke college student. Leave me alone. But whatever. End of the day, I did not hear from anybody and I got no calls from anybody. So that is good. I got out of that free. So I don't know whose fault it was. I'm gonna say it wasn't mine because I'm biased, but also it was like a neighborhood, and I swear she came at me so fast it scared the crap out of me. But that's the end of my car stories for today. If you really like this, I could probably do a part two sometime in the near future because I definitely have content for that. I'll tell you that. Manifest for me, guys. The car is in the shop currently. I'm borrowing my brother's. You can imagine my brother's fear as I drive his car in a big city. So, Hopefully, I get my PT Cruiser back with the lime green racing stripe. I really hope you guys enjoyed this. I am really excited to start 2025 this year. My goal is to become a YouTuber this year, so 12-year-old me would be living right now. I'm excited to start this. I'm going to put all my other social media on the screen where you can find me, and I hope to post once or twice a month, depending on how much work this takes and what I can do between my busy schedule I already have. So, thank you for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I can't take myself seriously. I can't take myself seriously saying that. But you should do it. Oh my god, I'm excited. Okay. Bye guys. I really hope you like this.